we hear this a lot, but I think this election, this particular election in November, is really do or die for America. And I don't say that lightly. I have been hearing from first and second generation Americans who left fascism, who left totalitarianism, who left a system where the media completely is working for the ruling party.
Yeah.
And they see that happening in Washington. They're very fearful. We've got to change this. We've got to get rid of the wokeness. We got somebody on the Supreme Court that literally doesn't know the difference between a man and a woman. And that's scary. We've really delved into chaos. We have an education system that for 20 years has taught our kids to hate America. We got to fix these problems.
So we know that CNN has its own rules for this debate. One of those rules, no interruptions. Interruptions will not be allowed. We understand what that means, but just in case we didn't, here's a little how-to video.
If we go behind the podiums, you can see two green lights. When they're on, they signal to the candidate his microphone is on. When the green lights are off, they signal to the candidate his microphone is off. Now I want to give you a sense of what it will look like for viewers at home if a candidate whose microphone is off interrupts a candidate whose microphone is on. So I'm standing at one podium, and I'll ask Phil to come in and take the other podium. And so let's say I'm answering a question. My light is green, and I'm speaking. Phil's microphone is off, and his green lights are not illuminated. He's going to interrupt me as I'm speaking, and this is what it will sound like. My volume remains constant, while Phil's interruption can be difficult to understand.
Let's try the opposite. My microphone is now on. Victor's microphone is off, and he's going to interrupt me. My volume remains constant, while Victor's interruption can be difficult to understand.
Rick, I thought for a second, I was watching a James Bond movie. The technology that CNN is using.
Green
when the light
is go.
is off, your microphone is off. This stuff, thank goodness that they explained all that, Rick.
I mean,
what I think is, by the way, that's a metaphor for CNN because that's how foolish CNN thinks their audience is, that they need to do an explainer.
Listen, I've never seen something so condescending from the media.
Totally.
It's pathetic. I mean, these guys at CNN literally are in total control of what's going on. You know, the most important person tonight is going to be the engineer who decides when microphones go on and off. I'd like to know who he or she is, how they voted. Let's see the most powerful person who's going to silence people. This is not a debate. This is a CNN scripted forum. And I don't understand why this is happening. It's outrageous. A debate is about people being able to go back and forth without a time limit to talk about issues in real time and to interrupt each other and say, you know what, that's not true.
Right.
Now, we can see when someone is belligerent and Joe Biden is all set tonight to throw out one-liners constantly. But President Trump has the facts on his side. It's going to take a whole bunch of money and a whole bunch of manipulation for the Biden team to tell us that gas prices are low.
Yeah, this is, and speaking of gas, the gaslighting of the American people continues. Now it's CNN. So if you mute microphones, to your point, that is no longer a debate. A debate allows somebody to jump in. The term moderator, Jake Tapper and Dana Bash, they're not moderates, okay? That's where you get the word moderator, okay? They are not. They are hired guns, and it's going to be 3-on-1. There's a question in there in just about 30 seconds, Rick. So and I'm reading from these are the official rules here. So a candidate gets to respond to an initial question for 2 minutes. Then there's a 1-minute rebuttal, and then there is a 1-minute rebuttal to the rebuttal. Then it is up to the anchors, Tapper and Bash, to either keep the conversation on that topic or at their discretion they can change the topic. So if the topic is the border, this is where the bias is going to come out, right? Tapper will change the topic.
I actually don't even think it matters of what the topic is. Jake Tapper is a Democratic staffer, former Democratic staffer. He worked on the Hill for the Democrats. And Dana Bash's ex-husband is somebody who signed the letter. He was one of the 51 individuals who said, don't look at Hunter Biden's laptop because it's Russian disinformation 3 weeks before the last election. And I think that the selection of both of these two signal bias from beginning to end, along with the engineer who's going to be controlling the microphones.